Things were already feeling off, but now the air's a little heavier. The Dolphins were barely catching their breath after losing Kader Kohou to a knee injury. And then it happened. Ashtyn Davis went down. And it wasn't subtle. He didn't just limp off quietly or sit with the trainers. He hit the ground, then punched it, and everyone saw. That reaction said more than any report could. Teammates rushed over. The silence around that part of the field? Loud. You could almost feel the dread creep in. There hasn't been any official word yet, of course. Tests are being done, scans being analyzed, timelines being considered. But the way it happened, the way players responded, it's hard not to think the worst. People don't react that way to a rolled ankle. There's always a moment in camp when reality hits you in the face. That might have been it. You start looking around and wondering who's next, how the puzzle pieces shift. You stop thinking about schemes and stats, and it becomes about bodies, about availability, about who's even left to line up. Davis wasn't just another name on the depth chart. He might have come on a modest one-year deal, but his presence was important. He brought something this team hasn't had consistently. A bit of chaos in the backfield, a knack for showing up when quarterbacks thought the play was over. Last year, he made Tyler Huntley look foolish twice in the same game. It's not always about the volume of starts, but the kind of noise you make when you're out there. Davis was making noise. Now it's just quiet. Just days before this, the same thing happened to Kohou. A knee that swelled up too much to even be properly evaluated. And it's not like this team was overflowing with experience at corner to begin with. So Miami acted fast, brought in Mike Hilton and Jack Jones. It's something, not everything. Their depth, maybe more. But that only works if everything else stays in place. And now it hasn't. With Davis possibly out, the conversations have already started behind closed doors. Do they go back to the free agency pool? Look for another safety who's been through the grind? You can't just roll the dice and hope the rest of the depth chart holds. Minkah Fitzpatrick might be one of the most talented players on this team, but even he can't patrol the entire back end on his own. There has to be someone else with enough command to hold the line, to recognize formations, to communicate when things start to unravel mid-play. It's still early in camp. There's time, technically. Time for Davis to recover, maybe, and the same for Kohou. But injuries don't follow schedules, and the season won't wait. Right now, all anyone can do is speculate. Wait for imaging results. Watch for swelling. Hope that the guy who was supposed to bring stability to a very shaky safety group isn't gone before the season even starts. Dante Trader Jr. is next up, and that's not exactly reassuring. He's promising, no doubt, but promising doesn't win games in September. You want battle-tested. You want someone who's made mistakes already, who's been torched and come back stronger. Right now, the Dolphins don't have that. What they do have is a defense that already got it hard last season, and a fan base that's justifiably anxious about it happening all over again. There was so much optimism when Minkah came back. The trade that sent Ramsey and Jonnu Smith away raised eyebrows, but getting Fitzpatrick back? That felt like a spark. But then you look past him, and what's left? A group of maybes. A list of players whose biggest impact so far is potential. Now that list is even more uncertain. The depth chart, if you can even call it that now, is full of questions. Melifonwu is there, technically, but already sidelined. Non-football injury list. That phrase doesn't bring much comfort when durability is already a concern. Elijah Campbell being re-signed looked like a small move then. Now it's one of the few things keeping this group from feeling completely hollow. Then you've got McMorris, the rookie, Colbert, Saunders Jr. Their names for now. Maybe more later. But they're being pushed into roles faster than planned. It's not ideal, and no one's pretending it is. The coaching staff is trying to manage reps, trying to keep spirits up. But there's a vibe that's hard to shake now. You see it in how players stretch a little slower, how trainers glance a little longer. There's an awareness now that every rep carries risk. And when a starter goes down, that ripples through everything. Suddenly, the defensive scheme needs to adapt. Suddenly, the pressure on the linebackers grows. Suddenly, the offense needs to prepare for shootouts. When the back end can't hold, you start playing differently on both sides of the ball. The domino effect is real, and it doesn't take long for it to show up on the scoreboard. You wonder what conversations are happening behind the scenes. Are they scanning the league for available safeties? Are agents getting calls? Workouts being scheduled? Does the front office believe in what they already have? Or are they buying time with hopeful words? Because from the outside, it looks like they're going to need to act fast.